The angel's role in the apocalypse, the cosmic war unveiled. Imagine a vast, unseen world, a realm beyond our physical eyes, where forces of light and darkness clash in a battle that affects all of humanity. This is not a distant fantasy, but a spiritual reality vividly described in the Bible's final book, Revelation. In the heart of this prophetic vision, a dramatic war breaks out in heaven, a cosmic confrontation between Michael, the leader of the heavenly angels, and the great dragon, also known as Satan. The battle, described in Revelation 12 verses 7 to 9, paints a picture of spiritual warfare that goes beyond human comprehension, with angels playing key roles in the ultimate defeat of evil. But what does this ancient battle tell us about the nature of angels, their place in the grand story of the universe, and the fate of evil itself? Let's explore the role of the angel in the apocalypse, where heavenly forces fight for the future of creation. The heavenly battlefield. The book of Revelation, written by the Apostle John during his exile on the island of Patmos, is filled with visions of the end times. Among its powerful imagery, one of the most captivating scenes is the war in heaven, described in Revelation 12 verses 7 to 9. And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. In this cosmic conflict, two mighty forces face off with Michael, a powerful archangel leading the armies of heaven, and Satan, the rebellious angel who had long ago fallen from grace, bringing with him a host of other fallen angels. This is no mere skirmish, it's a decisive battle that shapes the destiny of both heaven and earth. Who is Michael? The warrior of heaven. Michael, whose name means who is like God, is depicted as a mighty warrior and a protector of God's people. He appears multiple times throughout the Bible, often as a defender against the forces of evil. In the book of Daniel, he is referred to as the great prince who stands watch over the sons of your people, Daniel 12 verse 1. Michael's role in the apocalypse is to lead the angels in battle against Satan, a task that highlights his authority and strength within the heavenly hierarchy. Michael's leadership in this battle reveals an important truth about angels: they are not passive observers of human affairs. Instead, they are deeply involved in the spiritual warfare that takes place behind the scenes of our world. Angels, especially Michael, act as God's agents, carrying out his will and protecting his creation from the destructive forces of evil. The dragon and his fallen angels. On the other side of the battlefield stands the dragon, a symbolic representation of Satan. The Bible describes Satan as a powerful being, once an angel of light, who chose rebellion against God. This act of defiance resulted in his expulsion from heaven, but it did not mark the end of his influence. Satan's deception of mankind, beginning with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, unleashed a long-standing spiritual conflict between good and evil. Satan is not alone in his rebellion. The angels fighting alongside him in this apocalyptic battle are those who followed him in his original revolt against God. These fallen angels, or demons, now serve as agents of darkness, spreading deception, chaos, and destruction throughout the earth. In the apocalyptic war, they attempt to overthrow the heavenly order, but their efforts are ultimately in vain. The meaning of spiritual warfare. This war in heaven, as described in Revelation, symbolizes a larger reality, one that affects every human being. While we may not be able to see it, the Bible teaches that a spiritual war rages around us, with angels and demons battling for influence over human souls. Paul, in his letter to the Ephesians, describes this conflict as a struggle not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Ephesians 6 verse 12. The battle between Michael and Satan is not just a heavenly event, but a reflection of the ongoing spiritual warfare that has existed since the dawn of time. Angels, as God's messengers and warriors, are actively involved in this struggle, protecting believers and working to bring about God's ultimate plan for redemption. For believers, this scene serves as a powerful reminder that they are not alone in their spiritual journey. Angels are fighting on their behalf, defending them from the unseen forces of evil. This spiritual warfare also underscores the importance of prayer, faith, and reliance on God's power to overcome temptation and evil influences. The ultimate defeat of evil. The outcome of the war in heaven is decisive. Satan and his angels are defeated and cast out of heaven. This marks a turning point in the cosmic struggle between good and evil. Satan's expulsion from heaven signifies his diminishing power and the beginning of his ultimate defeat. While Satan is cast down to the earth, his defeat in heaven foreshadows his final destruction, which will come at the end of time when Christ returns to establish his eternal kingdom. The war in heaven reveals that, despite the devil's efforts to undermine God's plan, he is ultimately powerless against the forces of heaven. Michael and his angels triumph not by their own strength, but by the authority and power of God. This defeat of Satan is not just a heavenly event, it has profound implications for the earth. The casting out of Satan marks the beginning of a new era in the spiritual battle, where the forces of evil will be confined to earth for a time, but will not have the final victory. The war in heaven serves as a reminder that evil, while still present in the world, is on a limited timeline. The ultimate defeat of Satan is guaranteed, and God's victory is assured. The role of angels in the end times. The war in heaven described in Revelation gives us insight into the broader role of angels in the apocalypse. Throughout the book of Revelation, angels play a prominent role in executing God's judgment, delivering messages, and guiding events toward their destined conclusion. They serve as both warriors and messengers, ensuring that God's will is carried out. Angels are seen as active participants in the unfolding of the end times. From sounding trumpets that announce God's judgments to pouring out bowls of wrath on the earth, angels are intricately involved in the apocalyptic events. Their actions highlight the reality that God's divine plan for the world is carried out not only by human agents, but by supernatural beings who work in the unseen realms. Michael's role in leading the angelic army against Satan underscores the importance of angels as protectors and defenders of God's people. In the end times, they will continue to fight on behalf of believers, shielding them from the full brunt of Satan's attacks and helping to bring about the ultimate victory of God's kingdom. The message for today. The story of the war in heaven is not just a tale of distant spiritual battles, it has a message for us today. It reminds us that the world we see is only part of a larger, unseen reality. Spiritual warfare is real, and it impacts our daily lives in ways we may not always recognize. But the good news is that God has not left us defenseless. Just as Michael and his angels fought against the forces of evil in heaven, angels continue to work on our behalf today. They serve as protectors, guides, and warriors in the spiritual realm, helping us to stand firm in our faith. This cosmic battle also serves as a reminder of the ultimate fate of evil. Satan's defeat in heaven points to the certainty of his final destruction. While evil may seem powerful in our world, its days are numbered. God's victory is assured, and the forces of darkness will not prevail in the end. A cosmic drama with a divine ending. The war in heaven described in Revelation 12 verses 7 to 9 is a gripping, cosmic drama that reveals the deep realities of spiritual warfare. Michael, the warrior angel, and his heavenly army stand as a symbol of God's power and protection. Meanwhile, Satan, the dragon, represents the forces of evil that seek to destroy all that is good. Yet, this battle is not a contest of equals. In the end, Satan and his forces are defeated, cast out of heaven, and marked for ultimate destruction. This dramatic confrontation between angels and demons is a reminder that, while the struggle between good and evil continues in our world, the final outcome is already determined. God will triumph, and evil will be vanquished. As we go through life, we can take comfort in knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. The angels of heaven, led by Michael, are fighting on our behalf, and God's victory is assured. The war in heaven is a powerful reminder that, no matter how dark things may seem, the light of God will always prevail.